Cato the Elder once said, patience is a virtue, and Usman took that shit to heart. It became immediately apparent at the start of the Usman versus Burns fight that both guys had diametrically opposed styles in the way that they approached the match. Check out Burns coming out like he's just realized he left the stove on at his house. Gilbert had tremendous confidence in his KO power, and he held nothing back, initially countering Usman's jab with right hands over the top. Burns was filled with so much kinetic energy, he was borderlining on recklessness. Everything he threw had murderous intention. Burns managed to dominate the first round fairly succinctly. I mean, no one watching that first round would say Usman won the round. Lead knees to the head, low calf kicks, body kicks, head kicks, big right hands. Gilbert even tried some capoeira shit from his back. Banana way. Towards the end of the first round, I started to notice the momentum shift in favor of Usman. I noticed that Usman had taken Burns' best punch and stayed in the fight. And you've heard me say this before, but when you hit a guy with your best punch and he stays in the fight and gets right back in your face, it stifles your momentum. Beyond that, I began noticing that Usman was finding the range with both his jab and low leg kick. When Usman managed to catch the kick and force Burns' supine, he would kick the legs, old school Sakuraba style, and land straight shots to the body. A very risky move because the bottom guy can upkick you. Burns seemed affected by the body shots. When you absorb punches while on the ground, it is way more damaging. The floor acts as a wedge underneath you, which multiplies the blow's impact. The force has nowhere to dissipate, so your body takes all of the damage. Leading into the second round, Usman really showed why he is considered such a special fighter. Burns came out hungry, determined, and may I say, a little bit spazzy. Usman, on the other hand, slowed the pace down and forced Gilbert to match a tempo that didn't favor him. Once Kamaru slowed the pace, he was able to start timing his jab from both the orthodox and southpaw stance. Switching stances and using a bilateral attack forced Gilbert to constantly reset his offense. And great boxing trainers will tell you, a fight is won and lost with a jab. A jab is the greatest tool you can possess as a striker. It sets up all of your offense and acts as a defensive tool, which can help maintain distance and discourages your opponent's offensive rhythms. As I've stated before, the jab sets up your other strikes, in this case Kamaru's right hand. Burns never anticipated the right hand because up until that point, Usman was really only successful with the lead hand. So as it goes, it's the punch you don't see that hurt you the most. A pull counter right hand hurt Burns twice, but like a seasoned veteran, Usman didn't rush. He took his time, was patient, and returned to his jab, switching stances both defensively and offensively, even managing to drop Burns with a shotgun jab. Timing is everything. The third round would mark the end of the fight, which showed Usman switching the southpaw and timing a pinpoint jab that sent Gilbert Burns straight to the canvas. This time the damage was done. Gilbert showed impressive heart at attempting to wrestle up from bottom, but he was far too compromised to be successful. Kamaru crashed down, hammering blows, cutting and distorting Burns' face until the referee Herb Dean jumped in and called a halt to the action. When I was 16 years old, boxing out of Gleason's gym in Brooklyn, I was once sparring this Puerto Rican kid one weekday evening. I recall blasting him with a right hand and watching his legs turn to jello. Me, being the young bull, immediately pounced on him and was quickly countered with a right hand that sent a jolt of lightning through my body. It was in that moment when I learned that a man is most dangerous when he's hurt. Never crowd your opponent when he's hurt. Focus on timing, distance, and punch placement. I fortunately learned that lesson as a young fighter, but some folks never learn it. Usman learned it. I'm not sure when he learned it, but he did. He practiced patience and let the fight breathe. He never seemed desperate or in a rush to get out of there. A true pro in every sense of the word. I think it's time that we start putting respect on his name.
Nigga, when my name come up, respect it.
Let's go.
Stop playing with my fucking name.
He deserves a ton of respect.
I ain't gonna say it no more.
What do all the great champions have in common? In their primes, they all could be the hammer and the nail. Fighters who can only front run never reign for very long. Eventually, they are tested and they fold. Usman has an incredible chin and even more heart. His heart is what carries him through. You mix a great jab, phenomenal wrestling, patience, and heart, you get Usman, one of the greatest welterweights of all time. But if Usman is the best right now and one of the greatest welterweights of all time, just how good is this guy?
Ah! Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh!